Y'all. So this one, oddly, I don't talk about this at all, which is sports. But you probably wouldn't ever talk about stuff like this a lot more. Now, what I have on the screen here is this is the best I could find in this short notice. So excuse this guy and his and the look on his face. The reason I want to talk about this because I am absolutely annoyed with the way that they handled this. Let's jump into that right now. Now, I'm a Michigan fan. And everybody say the only reason somebody like me would be upset is because, well, we have to play Alabama the first round. And granted, I am upset about that, but not that's not why I disagree with the way it was handled. Let's try to map this all the way at it like we as we possibly can here. All right. So they're going with the four best teams in support of this, the people who agree with this. Well, that would mean that Washington and Texas shouldn't be there then. Your four best teams would be in whatever order you want to rank them. Which I don't understand why they have to rank them honestly, other than to save their ass. Just say these are the matchups we're going with for the playoffs. Like it's that simple. But it would be Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. Again, however you want to set the matchups up, that is fine if you're going to sell me on the four best teams. Because the only difference between my team, Michigan, and the team I hate, Ohio State, is that Ohio State lost the head to head by less than a touchdown on the road. It sounds like they're not allowing Michigan to go into the conference championship and win that bullshit game where all they did was just got the hell out of there. That's all Michigan did was that's all they did. That's all they did. So literally the only difference between Michigan and Ohio State, who is not even in the top six, which I think they're actually ranked right at seven, right outside of it. You mean to tell me you're going to go with four best teams, but they're not in it? You want to go with four best teams and Georgia's not in it? No, you just wanted some justification to put Alabama in, which is bullshit. That you're saying, and that's a big reason why people are upset. You bent the rules just so Alabama could get in. And by the way, whether they win or lose, that's still a finger point at you. Because if they win, you damn near you all but handed them a championship. Because if you're going to say what they do in the regular season, look, fuck that. We're going to put them in anyway. So you all but handed them a championship. And if they lose, that means you took opportunity from somebody for somebody just wasted away anyway. Oh my God, that's horrible. That is terrible for competition. Now, back to the who how to rank them. Let's look at all of the way this they're trying to use two different logics, and I'll explain here. Right? They claim it's the four best teams, but they're still using the logic of who deserves to get in, which is why they put Texas ahead of them, so they can simply say, "Oh, well, we just had to take Florida State out." Okay, well, why did you still need to put Texas ahead of Alabama then? Oh, because Texas won the head to head. But then Alabama beat Georgia, therefore that's why Georgia's is behind them, but still behind Florida State, who is better, who's not as good as Georgia, people would say. Oh, okay. But also who has a one-loss team, like I said earlier, Ohio State, lost head to head, and that's the same as Texas and Georgia and Alabama. But I guess because they're not conference champions, is why they don't get in. But then, how do you justify the best four teams? Then you see how not all of a sudden that logic doesn't line up. Is it the best four teams, or is it who earned their way into it? All this is garbage. All of it is. Let me get back on this Washington thing real quick because I actually got this point. Here's what didn't make sense to me even before the conference championships were played. They said between Washington, who was number three, and Oregon, who was number five, whoever won that game had an automatic in. How? Because if Oregon had one loss, Washington had zero, well, that would mean if Oregon won and you automatically put them in, that they both have one loss to each other. So how the hell would losing at a particular time mean that that was the better team now? It just means that those teams are probably dead even as far as competitive nature goes. How would one be better? You see how that doesn't itself make sense? Which now brings it back to Alabama and Texas. Because had they not met in week 2, but instead met in week, I don't know, 11, 10, conference championship, whatever, just later, you mean to tell me it was Texas still won by 10 in Alabama? They're not, are they still the 4 best? Because Georgia lost for the first time in 2 years, conference championship, all of a sudden not top 4, not the 4 best teams, not playing their best football. What? Listen, again, I'm a Michigan fan. I literally watched Michigan, even against their strongest opponents, kind of go, let's get the fuck out of here. Hand the ball off. Hand it off. JJ, throw a real quick zip pass for the first down. Okay, cool. All right, we're good. Okay, stop it. Don't prevent the Hail Mary. Auburn. Prevent the Hail Mary. Okay, all right, great. Neil, let's get out of here. They did that with Penn State. They did that with Ohio State. They did that with Iowa in the championship game. They are number 1. By the logic, we shouldn't be number 1. By the logic, we shouldn't be in the playoffs. And this is my team. This is how I know this is full of shit. I don't have a problem with you using just 4 best teams despite the record, but don't bend the rules specifically for one team simply because what they did 20 years ago and you want to apply that today. That is ridiculous. You cannot tell me that Nick Saban in Alabama back in 2002 did this, therefore they built up. It doesn't matter today. And stop it with this Jordan. What is his name? The FSU quarterback. He got injured. Okay. They still have the rest of the team. It's called coaching. You know what you give Nick Saban credit for? So, because FSU's coach isn't Nick Saban, you don't want to give him the opportunity to coach his team through a victory against Michigan, my team, who threw away last year versus TCU with a jet sweep on the inch-yard line while being the number 1 rushing team in the country. Really? You don't want to give that coach that opportunity. All right. This entire thing is full of crap. And I am pissed off. Listen, if my team wasn't in it, I wouldn't watch it. Because yes, I know I'm one person that it doesn't make a difference. But I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who feel the same way. If my team wasn't in it, I would not watch it. Because this is garbage. For you to literally steal an opportunity from somebody who did the work. Oh, and another thing. Miss me with that strength of schedule nonsense. Completely miss me with it. Because they say the schools make their own schedules, right? Who approves them? Seriously, I don't know. But they got to be approved by somebody. You can't just randomly go play people. So the ACC, I'm sure, has to approve the schedule. They have to. So why would you approve a schedule that you don't approve of? Like you said it was okay, but then when it comes time to just give Alabama something because they went too long without a title apparently, it's, oh yeah, you know that schedule we approved of? Fuck it, we don't like it. So it's not good enough. Then why should I be playing the games? Why? Why did you let me even come out here and do the work for the weeks that my quarterback was injured, only to tell me that my efforts were for nothing? And I am not somebody who says, oh, well, sucks to be you. Because I know this is definitely one of those situations where they are willing to apply this to whoever they feel like whenever it's relevant. So anybody who has to go up against Alabama from here on out, and listen, just because they're doing an expansion next year don't mean shit. If Alabama shits the bed enough because they get lazy because people are giving them freebies, and they're supposed to be like number 13, but it's like, not Alabama. They went on a 4-game win streak. What are you talking about? They're Alabama, so they're in. This is going to continue. This is garbage. Pure garbage. And before I go, listen, 12 is too much. 6 is a sweet spot. Think about it. You, however you want to say, whether it's you take all the conference championships or the 6 best teams, whatever. But 6 is really kind of the sweet spot for college football. The first 2 get a bye, and then you go from there. But this whole thing of 12, and also rivalry week still means something, because as you see, Ohio State is not in it. So if you stop at 6 instead of 12, now you still have you might get in at 6, but it's close. It's still, you still leave something, but you avoid. You know what? I'll take that back, because if we were talking about 6 being the teams this year, Florida State wouldn't be 5. For Ohio State would be 5. What the fuck am I talking about? Never mind. Like, why do we even worry about rules? Do y'all realize we've been chasing this for how long? There used to be just they will pick a team, which is why my team in Nebraska shared it, I think in 2000. Something like that. Or 97. It was one of those times where they just shared a national championship. Then they went to a championship game. And now they're at 4. And now they won to 12. Why? Because at every level, we go, wait a minute, hey, what about this team? What about this team? They change it. What about this team? Then they change it. Well, what about, and now they're changing it again. This is never ending. I don't care. We can go to all colleges, get in the tournament spot, and just go, all 500 teams get to play. They still gonna try some bullshit, because they don't have to answer to you. All they gotta do is put a dude named Boo on stage and say, yeah, fuck them. We don't want to play with them. Fuck that. And then that's what it is. And you know what? We'll watch. We'll keep buying the garbage. We'll keep tuning in. We'll just make videos and shit like this and comments in the comment section and get over it. Kind of like politics. Well, on that note, be right, not positive. I'm out.